everyone, welcome to Talk Together. Thank you for joining us for an evening talking about Dungeons and or Dragons.
Chris, what are you doing?
Open my mouth wide. It's really hot. I'm really hot. Okay.
I was wondering how long it'd take for British
literally
people,
less than 20 seconds
to mention the weather.
It's so fucking hot.
There's a heat wave in the UK if you haven't heard yet.
Might not have mentioned it.
Just to cut you off there, yes, we know it's hotter in other countries. No, we're not prepared for it. No, we're not prepared for any strong weather. And our airports are catching fire. It's scary.
It's not scary. It's an everyday commonplace occurrence over here because we're so ready for moving on from Brexit.
Absolutely. It's not Brexit's fault that the sea has caught fire. Anyway,
This political activist show brought to you by...
Dungeons and or Dragons.
Sometimes you wish that a dragon was the thing that was causing the fire, rather than oil companies. That's right, we're coming for you. Anyway, who invented the term your global footprint? That's right, BP. Everything's a lie, don't trust anyone. Hi, Tom here. Welcome to Crash, talking of burning, welcome to Crash and Burn. Okay, we're going to have some questions.
This isn't Crash and Burn, Tom. This is a talk together.
This is Crash and Burn's Talk Together.
Oh, okay, right.
Combination.
Well played.
Yeah, thank you. Not just a Coke stand, am I? Anyway, sponsors. We have Hero Forge, Ultra Pro. I'm going to get through this.
Right.
Phoenix Dice, Alchemy RPG, Idle Champions support us. D&D Beyond, Warriors of Waterdeep, and Neverwinter, Elderwood Academy. Oh yes. So, Roll Together RPG on all social media. Huge thank you to our D20 Club. They made us a wiki, they made us a Discord, come along for all the exciting memes. Shows available on podcasts under Roll Together RPG. So with that, let's draw the blinds over this adventure, and for the first time, let's say the catchphrase we all love so much.
It's too fucking hot.
This segment brought to you by Daniel Bedingfield, helping us all get through this.
Stay classy.
I do not do well in the heat.
Well, that was a natural one.
That seems fitting somehow.
We're already crashing.
The planet rolled a natural one today as well. It's all over.
It's a question for me, so I'm just going to spend 10 minutes. Any stories, elements from other books, films, plays, games that inspired you writing this campaign? There's been a whole spate of things with like alternate universes coming out at the moment. You know, Doctor Strange.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
That was a big one. You know.
I've seen that one. What happened to that one?
That's great.
It's really good. It's very sweet. It's very fun. It's sort of like going, look at all the lives you could have had. You know. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to mention the TV show, but it's a massive spoiler, so I'll just keep that one to myself for later.
It is currently a big thing across a lot of media. It's true.
Yes.
Alternate reality. This one's too hot. That's why.
Also, surely, Tom, Doctor Who. I mean, it has
obviously.
massive Doctor Who vibes.
Yes. Just imagine if I was like, no, don't like it. No. Huge Doctor Who, you know, wearing bizarre robes, beautiful colours, and then just going... I think I even called you assistants at one point. It was just like, yeah, no, there's that.
And Tom, where was the really loud, obnoxious doctor with the massive scarf? And where was the cantankerous doctor who refuses to take part in the adventure until someone forces him to?
Oh, they dead.
Oh,
they dead. And also one of them porcelain. So, yeah, no, that's... If I ever come back to it, you know... It was
you
like,
killed off Tom Baker and Colin Baker. The rudeness.
Well, Tom Baker's missing, let's put it that way, but Colin Baker's dead.
Is the porcelain a reference to Drusilda? Got to know.
I'm going to say yes. It mostly came from me looking at, like, they were like, a Medusa, it could turn people into stone or porcelain. And I was like, you got to turn people into porcelain. That's just...
Where'd you read that? What's that?
Again, it was me just looking up on, like, the, on D&D Beyond. And this is the problem, like, I'm looking at, it might be homebrew, but I was just like, yeah, that's great. I just like the idea of someone turning you into a porcelain statue and then going...
You said that. Homebrew.
It's one of those home brews that you read about online, you know.
Mixed it up in your bathtub, did you?
That's why the rest of you are really suffering. I'm just blitzed on Mountain Dew.
I feel like the party, and whether you intended this or not, Tom, the party definitely had for me Umbrella Academy vibes of like, we're not sure we like each other, we're not sure we actually want to do this, but I guess we're here now.
And the adventure keeps happening to us.
Yes.
I was just entirely focused on the tie plot. no idea what it was about, but
I spent the entire series macking on Hemlock really subtly, and no one picked up on it, and it was great.
Hemlock.
Hang on, what?
That wasn't implied at all.
In my
My mind
four-parter,
is blown.
From the word go. Literally, first time I met Hemlock, I was looking around like, oh, it's a big Minotaur.
ooh, handsome.
mine.
I mean, also...
We all want gay minotaurs. I'm sorry, it's not like
Yes.
there's nothing controversial about this. We all want the gay minotaurs.
Are you saying we've got the horn, Em?
Always.
Always. Yes, it goes without saying. Sure.
Look, there was the potential for gay Minotaurs, and me and Mike steered into it because gay Minotaurs. I think that's perfectly valid.
Embraced.
And now you're going to get a nice little cottage somewhere on the beach. It's going to be great. Who needs adventure?
Now we've got to have gay Minotaur adventures, Tom. That's the
Cannot
next
retire
step.
any more minotaurs. We've retired enough minotaurs. Minotaurs have got to stay in the game.
I just thought, what happened? We retired too many minotaurs. Why are you doing quotes? What does that mean?
If we retire the two gay Minotaurs, that means we're literally killing our gays. This is no.
They're not dead. They're just
the Sausage
on
King.
hollypops.
Suddenly you're doing beef sausage? What?
Hang on. Is Willie the Sausage King gay?
One good start
Of course,
to all
Willie
of
the
this
Sausage
them
King is
figuring out-
gay.
Of course.
Willie's
Sorry.
also a minotaur.
Mike, what were you
For
saying?
anyone who
Sorry.
hasn't come across Willie.
It'd be a good start if Hemlock and Hunk actually figured out what the hell just happened to each other and what that actually means. That in itself is a campaign.
That's true. Yeah.
Just have a nice sit down and go, well, what do you think just happened? A lot of crazy stuff.
I don't mean to be harsh, Em, but I think if Willie the Sausage King is gay, then the whole joke might be a bit on the nose.
Why is it a joke?
He's called Willie and he likes sausages. Like, if it's a straight Minotaur, that's somewhat amusing. If it's a bi-curious Minotaur, it's also amusing. If it's just a gay Minotaur going, yup.
Gay is a catch-all word. I'm not defining Willie's sexuality.
Okay.
I would say that sexuality of any sort is not a bar to the enjoyment of sausage.
Also true, yes.
We've
Me
also
too,
never
Chef Driver.
defined Willie's gender beyond the fact that he uses he/him pronouns.
It's also true.
You're being very, very defined, Chris.
That is true, I am being defined. We know so little about Willie. We know so little about Willie.
When is the Willy one
How do we
shot?
discover more about Willie? Tune in next time.
Oh, dear. Someone's got to run that now.
Yeah, we put it out in the universe.
I mean, Willie's basically this isn't about Crash and Burn.
No, I'm willing to just go. Other references, like at one point we started talking about Studio Ghibli films, and then I said, I like Princess Mononoke, and I was like, I'm kind of doing Princess Mononoke. It's like the entire forest is corrupt, and the animals are angry. Go fix that.
I mean, to be fair, Tom, I think I was the only one that forgot what character they were playing on several occasions.
Look, Gus is a hero. Gus has lived a we actually have no idea what happened to Gus. Gus is fine. Don't worry about Gus.
Look, I think it's high time we explain the whole Gus thing because it comes up so often. I think we've never been categorical about it. Gus is a player character from a home game that I ran that David and Tom were in, who is a proto-Alba. Is that fair, Dave?
Yeah. Alba is the finessed product with Tom's kindly allowances for me to just build him around one magic item, but also play the character.
Yeah, Gus was a fucking nightmare to DM, just saying. There's no way around it. I want to go over there and do that thing. No, the plot demands something else. Cool, well, I have an effective AC of 28. I'm just going to go there now.
I think Tom loved Alba, though, to be fair.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. And our campaign ended when we were like, we're going into the Underdark, and then we never finished it. So as far as we know, Alba and Matteo, they're still out there in the Underdark. I know from personal experience, the Underdark's a great time great place to spend your holidays. Yeah, it's brilliant.
It's a lot of mushrooms. Huge bacon flavoured mushrooms.
That's true. That's very true. Actually, sort of like, I know this is a DM question, but let's talk a bit like for the rest of you. So, like, what was any sort of other media you drew from to create your character?
Hunk purposefully sounds like George Ezra.
Yeah.
It's an easier.
Chris was making this character and went, "What's the sexiest American voice?" And I said, "George Ezra," because like dude's got a sexy voice. So then Hunk became George Ezra.
So now Hunk has sounds like it's a lighter approximation But that was the first version in Shadowfell, and still the same character, hasn't changed much.
Just got a new shirt, that's all.
Just killed a guy, you know.
Yeah, no, gonna have to see what your god feels about that. You're peace cleric, right? You're just,
I don't have a god. Community.
Just concept of peace. Yeah, okay.
Like a community thing.
Okay, as long as the community never finds out.
Well, it's not a specific community. Like, because Hunk's not even
one community.
Hunk's not even from this plane of existence. Like, I have sort of theory crafted that no one's told me I can't do, that Hunk is a cleric of the prime material plane, because they're not from there. They came there and got excited by it and now want to explore it and tell its stories and find out more about it. That's my conjecture anyway.
Little old lady just riding by on a bike. Heard you killed a man, Hunk. Just riding off.
Oh, let's do that. I like that. Yeah. Heard you killed a guy.
Nurta is obviously influenced by the same things that Ancient Antics was influenced by. So a lot of like Arthurian legends, and also like every mystic woman ever who sits in a hut with a crystal ball and is like, aha, I know everything about your life, apart from that she actually does.
And so many scarves.
Just a huge number of scarves. I just thought it would be funny to have scarves on a suit of armor. Honestly, that's where that came from.
I love that she's like classic Merlin, because classic Merlin's a dick.
She is supposed to be a replica of Merlin, and hence the fact that she stayed alive while everyone else died. Like, there are like echoes, but I didn't want to put in a male wizard because male wizards who know it all irk me. Because if you're okay, I'm sorry, we're on social justice hour. Male wizards get to be called wizards, and they do cool stuff. Women who are old and have magic, they get called hags. So that pisses me off.
But we have established we do like hags on this channel. They do keep coming back, and
hags are fucking awesome.
Every time I do a show about hags, it gets cursed. So I think I have to stop.
Hags are conceptually brilliant because hags are they're a lovely concept to lampoon's a strong word, but to poke, because it is, oh, I'm a wicked old woman, I'm going to destroy everything, and then you go, no, that's a person. Okay, so they have kids.
I don't mind hags as long as people don't do specifically single gender hags.
Exactly.
If all your hags are female, maybe reconsider your. Sorry, that was really harsh. It's really hot.
Then also consider that Mercantile Bog is about a hag coven that gets broken up, and then the two remaining ones are like power suit wearing 80s businesswomen running a cool, like playing with the idea of what hag means and conceptually what that is very cool. I like that.
Can I suggest a forest-themed campaign dealing with the sociology of hags called Hags and Stags? There's deer involved. It's the forest.
Pip makes an appearance.
Pip's campaign.
I've come back to kill my mums, but this is very positive. Yeah, poor Pip.
Wow, Hags and Stags.
Hags and Stags.
Not a good gag.
What's it a reference to?
I'll get my bag. It's just that you all love like alliteration and rhymes and stuff.
That's not alliteration.
That's rhyming.
And rhymes and
very
stuff.
anti-rhyming, apparently.
It very much falls under the rhymes and stuff.
Things that I find amusing. Hungry haggos.
That is amusing. The real hagwives of the Autumn Forest.
Yeah. So as we create yet another 12-part series in a forest. Anyone?
To be fair, Tom, you have described the Autumn Wood as being amazing. It's a pond that's sometimes a thing that's sometimes got tentacles and sometimes it's a rabbit. I'm already like, what the hell is that? That's cool.
It's a great place, which I'm looking forward. I was like, if I ever took Ogden back there and it's just really boring, I'm like, well, it was much better when I was growing up. When I was small, this was great. And then Tentacle comes out. I was like, see, he's still doing the thing. Sean, Mike, where did your idea for the characters come from?
I just really fancy playing a paladin. Fun fact, all my paladins have been sort of a version of Hemlock. Like
similar stat builds?
Yeah, similar stat build, same name, similar races, usually. Wow. And I've had a couple, and I sort of felt a little bit out of place at the start because I'd been a little bit behind everybody. So everybody started pumping out these amazing characters, and I hadn't really sort of got that spark that you usually get when you sort of hear the pitch and stuff and you start creating stuff. So I immediately referred straight back to something that I'm comfortable with, which was my stupid paladin Hemlock. And so
Great
But
character.
this ended up being developed so much more than it ever has been before. This time.
That's the thing. You were messaging me, and then I was like, right, okay, I've just created an entire new branch, and this is going to come for you. And you were just like, oh, right, thank you. Just so polite. It was like, cool, all this lore. You're like, amazing. That was really sweet, and the fun of like starting with the POV of having this sort of outsider character, and then just going, here, quest. I think we were talking, like you said, like Umbrella Academy, like go do a thing, go save the world. Thank you, Sean. Where did Heartburn come from?
So yeah, Bernard was actually also a home game character from a game that M was running. It's actually, funnily enough, the same campaign that Ed's recent character Norodom was in.
What can I say? I just generate great characters with my players.
Are you saying that I should bring back Niklaus as well? Do you miss the bus?
Come on, Hunk is Niklaus.
Niklaus was a divine soul sorcerer. Completely.
Niklaus is a divine soul sorcerer of the German
Hunk
accent.
has all the best bits of Niklaus. But
No, Niklaus is an ass.
We have now
Niklaus
interrupted Sean. Sorry.
was enjoyably an ass. I'm sorry, Sean.
It's all right. So yeah, Bernard was for this home game, and I was trying to think back, like what my original thought was for Bernard, and he turned out completely nothing like what I wanted to play. What I wanted to play was an aristocrat who had a sword cane, and I decided that I liked the idea of a kind of rogue barbarian mix. And then M gave me the kind of backstory of being part of Candlekeep, and so I was like, oh, Candlekeep, that makes me think Lawbard. So I added Lawbard originally, and then somehow just got this Scottish fire genasi rapier punching. Yeah.
I mean, come on, for context, in this campaign, at the time, we had, Divine Soul Sorcerer, Aesmar, very up themselves, Norodom, who you've met in Anakin and the Astral Sea.
Steve was playing a ranger.
A ranger with no charisma.
Just never said anything.
Never said anything at all.
That was it. It was just the four of you.
Yeah, and with those three characters, after a couple other characters left, suddenly having a, hello, I'm Bernard, I'm a fucking rock star. Like, it was just weird, like, lovely cannonball into the mix. It was great.
M specifically said, we've got all of these loud characters, so you need to make someone who's loud. So
was I wrong?
Noradom's not a loud character, and Steve never said a damn word.
Squirrel's not loud, but the rest of you had quite big personalities.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how Bernard was born.
So much of this is like, we just took it from somewhere else. You know? Literally everyone, all of you were like, just from another adventure. Just
in fairness, Tom, the original inspiration was like Rome Total War. There's a cool unit of Arcani in that, which are like double sword wielding irregular troops, and then the inspiration of Roman history, the idea of being an auxiliary troop historically for a wider empire and so on. It was fun to sort of play high status within one's own community, but low status in terms of the kind of global hegemony that was going on. So that gave me some fun character stuff to do. It's not all spreadsheets with me, Tom.
I didn't accuse you of that, but
Quite a
more
lot.
than one way to
Quite a lot of
excel.
spreadsheets for you today.
Hey, Dave, what's the character you just made for a one-shot that's happening soon? Like, that's how many classes?
Monstrous.
Look, they're very restrictive criteria for that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 4 classes.
Four
amateur
we can
hour.
take. We can go up to 5.
It's a level 11, so 5. We only allowed it up to 5 in each class. So I took 5 in Vengeance Pally, 3 in Hexblade Warlock, 2 in Fighter, and 1 in Peace Cleric. And the
fucking dirtiest multi-class combo of the most powerful classes in the game.
Sentinel and Polon Master.
Look, Ali hasn't met David yet, so he didn't know what he was getting himself into.
It's not the worst power play in the next one-shot series. Dear God. I won't say anything, but there's one character I'm just like, fucking hell, all right, fine.
Is it the one that's got is it the antimatter gun that's on Beyond at the moment?
No, that's in Wrecked Mithranor.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah.
There's tech in Mithranor. It's kind of steampunky in places. It's a weird old show if you haven't started watching it first. Episode 2 happened yesterday.
I can't.
Just saying.
They argue too much.
I was going to say,
can't
everyone
do
gets
it.
on
It's
so well.
stressful. And you've put all the characters who hate Prosperous together, so I'm also not massively thrilled about that. You're making like an anti-Prosperous army.
No, I'm not!
You kind of did.
I want them all to kill. Never mind.
This is the setup for 2 separate campaigns in the future where Prosperous builds a group and then
Prosperous,
at the end of
David,
the
Prosperous
fight.
has a group. I have the Shepherds. And I have
Shepherds?
Frore and Viorica, and clearly we are the right side to be on. Sorry, Rebecca. Sorry, Evie. Sorry, Niall. Niall,
is
you
the
are
problem.
definitely wrong.
When you get to a certain level of power, you start influencing the geopolitics. You become a faction in your own right.
I'm still peeved. I'm sorry, this is so off topic now, but I'm still peeved that I'm the only person who got punished for what happened in Sea of Swords. Everyone else scot-free. On with your life.
They're not
march away.
scot-free!
I had to go on blooming house arrest. Sorry, we should move.
So were they!
It just happens they're living in a crashed city in the middle. You got an actual house. They have to live in weird tents. Anyway.
I feel sorry for whoever has to edit this to the relevant bits and then ends up in a 5-minute
Hey,
show.
Editor Kobolds, we love you. Stay cool. Have a
Yeah, I
bath.
feel sorry for Tom. You've had to herd us as cats, and now you're having to herd us as a bloody chat show host.
The desperation in your eyes when you rolled that dice.
Roll that.
Just keep rolling, Tom. It'll be over soon.
Okay, question for players. Are there any choices you would change in retrospect?
No.
There is.
I was super annoyed with my decisions in the last game. I was super, and I was really annoyed I didn't just spend all of my spell slots, have everything running that I could have running, because I spent 3 turns trying to just react to stuff, get things up. Did I hit anything in the last game? I don't think I did.
No.
Yeah, using 3 turns trying to get stuff up is fucking stupid, Sean.
Who would do
It
that?
is, yeah.
What kind of
Rookie
imbecile would...
Glad you won.
I'm in 2 minds about this, right? I deeply regret cutting David off, right? Because that's not
So
fun.
funny.
However, I do not regret ending that fucking combat. So...
Also, it took out who I thought was going to be a major boss character.
Sorry.
And you actually saw in episode 4, I was like, he's there. And then Sean was like, no, he's not. I was like, oh. And then
Not
you just
without
watch
a
it
key.
transmogrga, and it's like, and now Dorothy is here.
Now the NPC's here. All right, fine.
Yeah. That's, yeah.
Hang on. Because we're talking about regrets, and Sean, I want to throw this back because I think I want to challenge this. If that's all right with you.
Go on.
You didn't start a DM gift of I will let you spend as much time as you want prep casting before you go into combat. You didn't use it. And you didn't use it because your character wouldn't use it, which you specifically said at the time. You said Bernard wouldn't think that much, you just go in. So that's already a really big tick in the right direction. For 2, it ended up being a combat where it wasn't about smashy. It was trying to stop a dragon from being possessed and not doing a smashy on the dragon, which, because you weren't raging, you didn't. Like, you hit a point in combat where you were going to start hitting people at a point when we had basically given up on stopping the dragon from getting away because of the knife throw.
True.
Yeah.
You
I think
went
that
down
was bad choice at all.
not the pacifist route, but like the diplomacy route, and that gives you
That was-
everything B.
That was a really hard point just in general, because sort of I was like heavy barreling in one direction, and Chris just took a wall up and said, no, stop. And that wasn't like a friction. That was just like I'd literally just basically pinlined Hemlock into a hateful revenge.
Absolutely.
And that was a really interesting point when I was trying to figure out, where do you stop? Like, would Hemlock actually stop at this point? And then I remembered he's not smart enough to be hateful. He's, he knows that person's bad and he's not particularly happy or so. But I'm glad it went the way it did, because I think it would have totally changed the ending, especially for the hunk on Hemlock. If Hemlock had been so hateful and revengeful, I think that would have totally changed quite a lot the ending.
I really enjoyed that, because like my character's shady, David's character is a bit clueless, sorry David, Bernard is just Bernard. I really liked that there were 2 characters who were like heart of gold, we're going to do the right thing, while the rest of us were just like, I don't know, fucking around in the background.
I don't think Bernard's a bad person.
No, I didn't say bad person. Neither do I think Murtra is a bad person. Neither do I think Alba is a bad person.
Just okay with a little bit more.
Alba just doesn't care if you're evil or not. Alba just finds the whole thing quite interesting.
But we're not plot drivers, that's probably what you're saying.
I feel like I was the main plot driver, personally, but...
Oh, no, we, as in Alba, Bernard.
I will free admit that Hunk is the most... I can see how Hunk would be an annoying person to play with, because there's 2 campaigns now where, as a character, I've gone, cool, there's combat happening, I want to stop the combat, and everyone else is going, can we smash things? I'm going, but I'm a peace cleric, can we just not fight? I'll just heal people.
You have to do both. You have to find the balance between, some combats you can't stop by being peaceful, therefore everyone gets to, totally murk the things. And some combats you can stop by being peaceful as long as everyone else buys in, and that's the fun, isn't it? You've got to convince everyone else to buy in.
Yeah.
Considering it's a campaign about sort of a little bit of past regrets and then not being there, and also just going, as we learned, you can't go back into the past. You can't change things unless you get the most powerful device known to mankind. Then the power in your very hands. No, but that's background stuff. Don't worry, that's just happening. Broken glass. Pfft, who needs them? Anyway, on that note, shall we keep this going?
Roll that.
I've raised them out.
No, roll it. Otherwise, Chris will talk forever.
11. What does 11 mean? What did you have a point, Chris?
Oh God, no, don't.
Question.
What's your question? Yes.
What actually happened? Because a bunch of gatecrashers go missing.
Yes.
Fine. They go missing because all their keys are stolen.
Yes.
But then there's a group of people who were not those people because the keys didn't belong to them, because they're all still missing. But they're not, because Lady Badminton got them and now I've got them. What happened in that interim space? Where's the glue? What's the...
do you do this at every campaign where you just come in and go, sorry, what's the glue? Why did this work?
No, I'm not shitting on the concept. I'm sure there was a lot going on behind the scenes stuff. That's not it at all. What I'm saying is, what was going on behind the scenes, because there were hints of what was going on and what the connecting pieces were, and I wanted to get them during the campaign and we didn't, and now I got to know.
I will keep some of it vague because there's some of it I want to do, but Lady Badminton had people who were working with her, and also people who were also incredibly disgusted by the gatecrashers who changed sides. Or you had people like our dear elfin friend who was just like, I just enjoy the chaos. I get to go to the Shadowfell and have some crazy times.
So was the corrupting influence, the one that was making people go with yellow eyes and changing them, was that the influence of another person who travelled with Lady Babington?
That came from a gatecrasher. Okay, I'm going to keep this vague, but... one of the assistants of the gatecrashers lost someone, and in the attempt to bring that person back, opened a door that shouldn't have been open. Something started coming through. It caused great problems. When this character woke up, Lady Badminton was there going, that's annoying. I'm going to take this. And then this character was like, I need to keep doing research. She's like, chaos, love it, come with me. Brought them back to the Shadowfell.
See.
And so there's other aspects. I mean, I talked a couple of times about Lady Badminton having a ring. That didn't come up, but that's those of you who've seen some of my characters before might have an idea of what that is. Also, other campaigns by Liz. So, yeah. So this is where you, again, like Doctor Who, where I'm like retroactively, actually, I'm very clever and I've been planning this. And you're like,
that is
not.
The entirety of DMing. Look at that thing I did 3 sessions ago that now, I planned it all along. Or like, oh no, maybe I did mean the thing that you mentioned 3 sessions ago that I've now written in because it was a really good fucking idea.
Totally, you can't. So yes, so there was other disagreements going on with, and as I said, not necessarily all the gatecrashers aren't dead. Some of them are missing, and actually I had an idea of putting someone in limbo, but then I was like, now we're having the battle in limbo.
Is that a random roll?
Yeah. Hmm?
Oh, was that a random roll?
That was a random roll. Yeah. But
could have been so much worse.
Yes, but when we actually that's a new. So let me see. I've got my piece of paper. Yes. So possibilities were limbo, plane of water, where would have been terrible.
Short.
Again, I'm not going to reveal too much, but I was giving Murta sort of vague prophecies. The fact that it said 15-foot lobster.
They were very vague, Tom. They were very, very vague.
Which is why you would have met 15-foot tall lobster woman. Belittle poop.
Little poop.
Aside from the one where you were like, oh yeah, you see your chest being exploded. I was like, well, that one's pretty fucking clear.
I'll just use that, and then the mild threat of going, you remember that prophecy? Do the thing. Do it. Save the thing.
A little bit of D&D backstory because I fucking love this. Blibdulplub is the Kuatoan god of Kuatoan people. They found a statue of a lady and put a lobster head on it and shoved lobster claws on the hands and started worshipping it and called it Blibdulplub, which created a god called Blibdulplub. And she is the god of the Kuatoans and canonically slightly pissed off about having a lobster head and lobster claws for hands.
As I said, 15-foot tall, naked lobster woman. Just also...
Can't put clothes on. Because she's got lobster hands. It doesn't work.
Who will dress her?
Someone else could dress her.
Yes. And maybe that would have been a conversation
Can I just add, I fucking love fish. Like, that theming is just so brilliant, and it just makes me want to do things to do with fish more. Like,
absolutely.
It's so good.
So that was option one. Option two, which would have been great for Murta, Mechanus and the March.
God.
I'm glad we did not go to Mechanus.
Yes.
I'm not personally out of time, so I'm fine. It's just all of you lot. You're the problems.
Yes, that's everyone else is a problem apart from me.
Oh yeah, sorry. That could be Murta's catchphrase.
Well, like when you were doing the introduction, it was like, well, I don't know what you've heard. I'm not a problem.
Oh my god, I watched that back though, and the rest of you were like, here's my character, here's what they look like, here's what they do, and I'm like, don't know what you've heard about me.
That was one of my highlights, that I like that me as the DM would just completely agree with M. Would just come in and go, yeah, no, everyone else is terrible, you're right. that weird sort of internal voice in your head is me like, yeah, no, everyone else is terrible, you're right. Have some dreams.
It's everyone else's fault for being too uptight.
Option 3 wouldn't have been too much of a problem, was the Realm of Fire. You could have just gone home. Option 4, not so good. The Abyss.
That would have been a problem.
I have the word worm blood down on the sheet. Yeah.
So it's a kind of ooze. It's awful.
It's terrible. It's option 5. Plane of air, where you would have just been tumbling. Option 6 was limbo.
Yeah.
Option 7. A realm of earth, and that would have just been a sandstorm. And option 8, which I would have been fascinated by, Elysium. And if someone might have come and had, various beings that might have just come over and just gone, hey guys, what you up to? That would have been better for, like, if it was like next turn and you just end up in Elysium and like Shantae is just like, hey guys. What's occurring?
We stand Shantae. Shantae appearing at any time is always positive. As you all know, I'm on a personal mission to spread Shantae across D&D, and I feel like I'm winning. Certainly with the Roll Together crowd.
It's true. She's great. Yes. So those were the options, and inadvertently, I think you ended up going to the most fun place with Limbo and the.
Nope.
No. Where would you have liked to go? But I fear that Bernard would have burnt out, and well, poor Murta would have just sunk down to the bottom.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the elemental plane of water. There is no bottom.
Just keep.
Do we not have a list on our wiki of things that have no bottom?
There's a list of things with no
plane of water on there.
The plane of water.
Because quite a few. No, we have to be very clear on this. That's a list of things on the wiki that have no anus. Now, I'm pretty sure a Tarask has a perfectly nice bottom even if it doesn't have an anus.
I mean,
None of us have been
dice.
admiring Tarask's bottoms.
Speak for itself.
Here we see the Tarask's gluteus maximus. Oh no, I've been spotted. Oh help, I'm going to die. Chantier, why have you forsaken me? I'm dead.
Shantae would definitely be David Attenborough's god. Come on. Good call.
Wilby just turns around and is like, David Attenborough's dead. Add that to the list.
Taraski muck Tarask face.
Oh no. If only my brother was around, he would have taught me the dangers of large dinosaur-like monsters. Yeah, so that was a fun side question. I did roll a dice.
Sorry, I wanted to know. I got to know.
Oh, absolutely.
I still don't know enough. I will be prodding you more until I know everything.
Fair enough. As I said, like, I may be being an optimist, planning that I'm coming back, but you know,
Sure, do so.
Yeah. There's other.
No,
there's
Tom,
other
we're
things.
firing you on Talk Together. Congratulations.
We needed someone to host, and then you're like, question 21. What are your final words to the entire company? I'm like, beg your pardon.
Don't forget, Tom, you have to stay classy at the table at all times.
These notes, they look like a P45.
Quick question, Tom. Six Semper Tyrannus, what does that mean? Well, it means, oh no. Oh no. I'm going to roll the dice again.
Good.
Roll that dice!
Oh, that's
Roll
jazz.
Question
hot.
Tyrant, is that the new...
Nat 20,
Monaco.
y'all.
Hey.
And that's the fun. What's next for your character?
I mean,
Surely it's easy for two of you, at least.
yeah.
Hollybobs.
Can't be said on stream.
But can be done through the medium of puppetry.
I think Alba's got a job lubricating Murta for when the joints are a bit creaky.
Freaky. I think Alva and Murta are going to go and terrorize a lot of planes. I feel like that is a combination that's going to be like really bad.
Diviner Wizard and Blade Singer Wizard is a horrible combo.
Part
It's two
mechanic.
very intelligent characters just making their way across the universe anywhere they want because they have a key, doing whatever the fuck they want. And Murta is not. Murta has things that she wants. I'm not entirely sure what they are at the moment, but they'll come to me, and they may not maybe align with what other people want. Not in a sexual context.
Where did that come from?
Well, they didn't Murta want to trade bodies with the young elf or something?
That was an option.
I considered it, and then I thought no, because my jar will be inside me, and I'll still like it would have been complicated. Maybe like plane hopping, trying out different bodies.
So basically, the plot of Quantum Leap.
Yes.
I was going to say we could check out some libraries, but sure, stealing bodies sounds fun.
Libraries is also we could steal librarians' bodies in libraries with books.
That's right, Murta, you can always hope that this jump is the next jump home.
And I've also got the soul of what's his name?
Yeah.
In a little cage that I can speak to and suck life out of and all of it.
Nullus?
Is that like the hologram that turns up in Quantum Leap?
Yes.
It's the soul.
But I hate
Are you telling me that I'm going to have to watch Quantum Leap?
Well, they are remaking it, but so get in before they muck it up.
Ooh, I feel like someone just reached into my childhood and jiggled it a bit.
That's how I felt when they remade Fifth Element. Like, why would you?
There's a remake of
Wait, no, I've got mixed up between Fifth Element and Mars.
Oh, Total Recall.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a remake of
Thank you, Tom,
God,
for
remake the
getting that
Fifth
from
Element.
Mars.
Luke
Can
Besson.
you imagine? No. Okay, Luke Besson remake of Fifth Element I'd actually watch, that's fair.
I don't want anyone to remake the Fifth Element. It's such a good film.
What's that
Valerian.
god-awful film? Yeah, Valerian, thank you. Who's that by?
It's by him. It's
Luke
him
Besson.
trying to repeat the success with a completely unlikable main character.
Completely unlikable main characters.
Yeah, I didn't mind.
A hot mess of a film.
Oh, I can't remember her name.
Cara Delevingne.
Yes,
Gareth
she's good in Carnival Row.
Yeah, that's a nice show, but both her and Dane DeHaan are just like, we're gallivanting around in a pseudo Star Warsy kind of way, but we seem to always just about manage it by jumping really lamely with bad CGI.
It made that mistake of telling you how charismatic a character is while not showing you any instances of this character being likable in the least.
You know what the problem is, Sean? It's based on a comic. It's very hard to make adaptations of comics.
Heartstopper, a brilliant adaptation of a animated name.
The Boys is good.
Scott Pilgrim does it well.
Okay. Sin City, The Boy, we can be here for hours if we do this, but they're all great films.
What have the Romans done for us?
Well, they're all great films, but they're terrible adaptations. So are all the Marvel movies. Hot take, I know.
The issue is that we all like each other too much, so we could just talk about shit forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom, this is not a reflection on your campaign. Which is worthy of many. I'm sure there was a plot. I'm sure things happened. I just can't remember any of them right now because
Most of
my
them
brain
happened
is
off
fried.
screen.
So hot.
Yeah.
So in answer to your original question, Tom, what's next for Bernard? Apart from gigging across the galaxy. No, actually,
Name of my next show.
Gigging across the galaxy. That's it.
You've got a dragon roadie now. Yeah.
Yeah, searching out the Anstigin's pig.
Yeah, Soma. Yeah.
Soma.
Speaking of, Sean, any idea what that anagram was?
So I've got 3 strong contenders. I was out there with the Scrabble trials trying to work it out. So at first I wondered whether you were going down a route of discussing art and how sometimes there's a bit of a difficult ground with refurbishing art, and maybe that is shaming a stain on art.
Interesting.
Failing that, I thought maybe you were thinking about a famous guitarist's background in arithmetic, Santana maths origin. Or perhaps you were actually remembering a time that we went out for a curry and we just had a big old argument about the bread. Naan shitstorm again. But no, I have no idea. I tried. Yeah.
Amazing.
There's a bit of me that doesn't want to tell you.
I'd love it if it never was an anagram and you just...
Well, it's funny you should mention that, considering the anagram was, this is not an anagram.
Oh, that's just...
We're just 2 souls in a fishbowl.
So cruel.
Oh, it's amazing. Sean, you're never going to live this down. Ever.
You got
I'm good at setting anagrams. I never said I was good at solving them.
Sean, you missed an anagram because it was an anagram of this is not an anagram. You're never going to live this down.
I was obsessed with it being something ing or having Thomas in it because your name features in it.
I mean, I'm egotistical, but not that bad. No, but in
Tom, that
conclusion...
is so cruel. I love it. Oh,
So
this is almost as good as Dave spending 3 turns trying to get to combat.
Could we just let that go? Maybe could we just let go of the time when I completely stomped on David's
Why would
thing?
you bring up things that never happened to us? We had a great combat. I killed the thing. It was wonderful. Everyone went home and had a picnic.
I love it. In the episode after, you're like, I've got some time before combat. Yeah, like, cool. I'm going to cast this spell, this spell, this spell, this spell. Cool, I'm ready now. Just dropped it all in really quickly just to make sure we don't have to do all that again.
I just gave you an NPC to beat up on.
I decided that Tensor's transformation gives you roid rage because reasons. Although interestingly, one of the spell component for Tensors is a few hairs from a bull. So
it's a Red Bull.
You're welcome.
That is fun.
So yes, the adventure. Sorry, again.
You're a monster, Tom. You're an absolute
this was
monster.
an anagram that I was going to use on like minor characters on the first episode, and I was like, "Oh, that's going to be a fun joke." And then it's 4 episodes later, and I talk together. It's just
Four episodes later, Sean's invested a lot of time and you've just broken his heart.
Yeah,
I hope you feel bad, you monster.
Yeah,
I mean,
she'll go out
you
the
say a lot of
Scrabble
time.
tiles.
The duration of Muppets Treasure Island.
But that's the best Muppet film. You should be enjoying that.
Yeah, but if you've seen it as often as Sean's seen Muppet Treasure Island, you can kind of come along.
to be fair, the face when that was given, like, it calls for the rain effect. Hello, Dr. Smile.
I'm also enjoying that this is not an anagram, it's an anagram of Narn Shitstorm.
Not on Shitstorm again.
Oh, okay.
Also, Stoning Samaritan. Or So Girth Stamina Nana.
Stamina Nana.
Were they in Eurovision?
I think I was going to say, isn't that Valka? Stamina Nana.
Yes.
So Girth Stamina Nana is quite...
Do you want to roll a dice, Tom?
I think we've got time for one last one.
So Girth Nana. Stamina.
So good.
I do admire your tenacity, Sean. I have no patience with anagrams, so like, props to you for having a go.
I didn't notice there was anagrams.
I take the countdown method. If I've got it within about 30 seconds to a minute, hooray, I feel like I've achieved something. If I haven't, I'm never going to get it.
I'm more of a palindrome person myself.
Such a
Am I being rude for watching Countdown?
such a
Countdown.
personality revealer. Sean spent a lot of time trying to work out the anagram. Chris gave up after 30 seconds. Mike didn't even notice, and I didn't care enough to try. David made a joke.
Where I said, "Oh, there's a puzzle," and then went, "Well, I'm not doing the puzzle." I was like, "I wasn't expecting it." So that number, and rather nicely, number 10. What was your favourite moment overall?
I loved the moment when you got really angry with us because the plot was happening off screen, and you kept repeatedly telling us the plot was happening off screen, and that we were silly for not being there for the plot to happen, and we were just fighting off in a random corner of the map.
I did say you shouldn't sleep in the woods. You got to save my boy. You got to save my son. But,
Why is Antimarchus your son? Explain this, because we talked about Amlas.
Yeah.
Is he Pip's son?
no, he's not Pip's son.
Oh, he's the Autumn Stag's son.
Nope.
I think just Tom's brainchild.
Nope.
Oh.
He's got goat horns.
That doesn't help me.
Is it Delaney?
No, Selene. He is the son of Polytartan and the Prince of the Centaurs. So
They're fictional. Even in our universe, they're fictional.
not. No, it's based on a true story.
Oh, I
and
see.
So that's the thing. So very blonde musical.
So we're saying that the play within a play of the play that people are watching is all based on real events.
As much as Robin Hood is.
Right.
Or King Arthur, you know.
Yeah, but at no point during King Arthur does someone reveal that they're two people in a horse.
Not in the versions you've seen.
That was the play outside of the play. That was the act.
Yeah.
God.
So he was turned into an animal and then was brought back, as was his son.
Right.
See, the anagram wasn't worth it.
Was this what the question was? What was the question?
What was your
Favourite moment?
Oh, okay, not this.
I'm just glad my earphones are in because my brain would be dribbling out, I think.
I have to say, the point in the final episode where you kept trying to do things and people just kept being like, oh, no.
Oh God, that first round. Yeah, this cool elf. No, it turns invisible. No, we can all see them. The dragon. No, tries to. No.
I've got this cool speech prepared. Fireworks in your face.
Yeah.
Also, when we worked out, it was like, oh, well, they wouldn't have seen through the invisibility. It's like, and yet we did. also, the moment when like the key and David was like, well, that's not how the spell worked, and I went, yet it did. It just flies into Murder's hand. That's how the magic works.
On the same note of just like taking Tom's beautiful plot and putting it straight in the bin. It was when Keeper came up to us in the tavern and was like, "Are you guys gatekeepers?" And how much tomorrow? I went, no. And you were just like.
Do you mean the bit where Tom was like, please leave the fucking pub to follow the plot, or you can just stay here and have drinks for 3 sessions, which to be fair, we would have had an amazing time.
I would have been happy to. I keep joking about just wanting a picnic episode. This is the sort of thing where it's just like, just stay in the pub. I will let the world burn around you, but you're having a lovely time with your little nibbles. Yeah.
Nibbles.
Nibbles.
Is that another NPC that we missed?
Yes, why didn't you save Nibbles? Now Nibbles is in a big dark hole.
Because I didn't care about Nibbles. I'd never met Nibbles.
Don't you mean that they're locked in a cage? So now we have to free the nipples.
David is already on a campaign to free the nipples.
Solidarity, brother.
Rich, we're coming for this.
Attempt.
I'm as free as terms of service allows.
Chopped off about here.
I'm actually sitting in a hot tub right now. This behind me, that's a fake background. I'm actually in the Bahamas.
It certainly feels like it, doesn't it?
Joke's on you.
This is where your Patreon money is going. Sending one man on his holidays.
Yeah, 90% of Roll Together's budget is my appearance fee.
It's true. It's just so expensive.
It's the rider.
Every time we look at it and go, is it worth it? And go, yeah.
I have very
No one else
specific
can power
demands.
play like him. It's just
No one. Anyway.
Everyone wants to
Max
see those
is like
massive
this one?
multi-class characters. They want to see the power builds, and that's where the money goes. I'm sorry, folks. I hate to be so transparent, but yeah.
Any other lovely moments that you enjoyed in this?
Mine's like quite a small one, but it was just a really lovely character moment that I really enjoyed. Was the face in the cloud.
Oh yeah,
And kind of playing along with Hunk and having that kind of little moment. Yeah, the weather reacting to us was nice.
It was a nice touch of never-ending story.
yeah. It again where I was like, okay, let's go to a place that we haven't been on stream yet, and then just looking into it, and then it was like, oh yeah, there's bit we didn't get into. It's like, yeah, there's an island full of dinosaurs up in the sky, and everything mirrors what's on the material plane, which implies there are dinosaurs out there somewhere, as we now see in Chris's campaign, where a T-Rex turns up, and you're like, oh.
Well, it's a zombie T-Rex, but you know.
There may be living ones out there somewhere. In the land before time.
I'm taking a very big thrilling going, look, it's an ancient mystical elven location with a zombie T-Rex in it and a demon with a gun. You're welcome. Very purposefully cutting across the portentousness of it.
Yes, but I was a big fan of the giant cloud face. Just
Giant cloud face, and then joined in the combat at the end. I really like that they then came back and helped. Like it solidifies that thing in D&D of you did a thing which was nice, and now they will come and join you in your final battle against the big evil. Like that's it's a cliche, but it's a lovely cliche because it makes you feel like it makes being nice is important. Just as important as having 20 plus to hit or nonsense.
I've learned anything from this campaign. Be nice.
Yeah.
or don't.
Or don't. Alternatively,
Those are your two options.
I'll tell you, you could not be nice and everything's fine. We're all fine now.
in life you could be smart or you could be nice. Sometimes it's better to be smart.
No, it isn't.
It's Harvey, which is the so like the inverse. Yeah.
I had a great time playing Murta. I'm looking forward to bringing Murta back. I'm very glad you all went with it because it's not like necessarily the easiest thing to go with when your party member is like, I'll just capture their soul. But I had a great time.
Thing is, right, nothing Murta did was that bad.
I know Murta's not bad.
Yeah.
A really handy, whether intentional or not, but because you had these plot hooks or at least like little snipples of things, whether it was familiarity with our characters or familiarity with what could come up next, that was actually incredibly helpful for the crossover of like the personality you created and our players not clashing, because you would, every time there could have been that potential or a discussion on where we go next, your character was like, well, no, because it's that. And it kind of, there was no reason for us to argue because you'd given us no reason to not trust what you had to say. So it's actually really easy just to embrace Murta and her like personality in the way she is because she was right. So there's not a lot to argue about.
She is often right. Thank you, Mike. No,
but character-wise, it made it incredibly easy.
It's really difficult because Murta was originally an NPC, so you can do things with an NPC that you cannot do as a player character. Like you can't just be like, well, I know exactly what's going to happen because I'm doing it. Tom very kindly sent me some things in advance, and to be fair, I didn't check in with Tom before. I was like, haha, I know who all your characters are and all your names and why you're here in the first session.
Fine for me. Again, hey, don't want to bring up the end of episode 3 again. Happy to skip some steps here and just go, cool, Murta knows what's happening. Trust Murta. Murta's like, yep, saw this.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is nice.
And also, like, that's just good improv skills, is like having that solid kind of thread, setting it like this is what the main thread's going to be coming from this one character and everyone else being able to play off that. I'd be like, otherwise no one will be seated during the 1 hour of players rolling insight at each other. How fun. Like having that clear, determined goal to kind of go along with and see the sights. Like it made it a lot easier to play off rather than trying to, Alba didn't feel like a natural leader, whereas it just felt right to kind of be pulled along in Murta's wake, so to speak. Like Murta's the speedboat, and the rest of it is just coming up from behind.
I am thinking back to you. I know I asked you to talk, but you're talking too much. Can you just... This poor, terrified Medusa.
Thank you for the information. Now shut up.
Shut up.
I'm sorry, Tom.
I deserve it. For whatever sins I performed. Okay. Any last thoughts before we take this into port?
I mean... Mike and I got to have a gay Minotaur romance. I'm just saying, like, you're talking about favourite moments. It was awesome. We got to do all the little subtle early days romance stuff of like, oh, it's without doing anything. And now we're married, which happened way faster. But we got married because of an in-game thing that's like a thing from your order that means you're looking after someone and protecting them. So it doesn't feel like we got married. It feels like we are now connected, which now means we've got opportunity to explore all of that in further adventures or whatever. It's great.
And it's really handy that their personalities were really compatible as well, which was really nice.
It's also another powerful combo to go forward, though. A peace cleric and a paladin is like...
Also a bard.
We shipped the Hunklock.
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 Also, sorry, I'm sorry, Tom. If this isn't over an hour, I'll apologise to you for not retaining your badge. However, I really enjoyed in the first episode when one of Bernard's fans turned up, because it really like cemented in the world that Bernard actually is someone that people know about and care about, and I thought that was a really nice addition to like help Sean develop that character in terms of like not just him going, I'm a professional rock musician, but also like the world reacting to that and making it true.
Yeah, that was great.
All those times that those famous rock musicians say, I'm a special rock musician. Yeah. Have you not heard of me?
I also enjoyed this.
It can be really difficult as a player because like you can tell everyone what you are, but unless the DM shows it as well, it doesn't happen.
It's like background features so rarely utilized, but it made sense. Like I genuinely felt like Bernard was doing the gigs, if you like, big in Thay, I'm sure.
And Alba was able to talk war with a crusty old colonel who was like, I want you to meet my daughter. So that's out there.
There's my snail. Yeah.
Oh, Colonel Teopo.
I realised belatedly, by the way, that when I went into the ethereal plane, Colonel Teopo would have dropped off my shoulder.
You've only realised that now.
Oh, well.
Is that why Colonel Teopo wasn't in the 4th episode at all?
Yeah.
I guess we could make that our first stop is to go and recover Colonel Teopo.
From Limbo? It's going to drop in to pick up a snail that's probably a T-Rex by now.
Not Limbo, the ethereal. Wherever Alba first went into the ethereal.
Beastlands, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're in the woods. Quiet would probably just go, oh, it's a cool snail. Look. Just put it in the muddy side, just going.
Oh no, it's a corrupted snail.
Right, we're not.
The epilogue is just zooming in on Teopo's eyes. Yellow!
There has to be a section on the wiki just for this entire story.
I mean, I'm sort of hoping there'll be slashfic at some point, so the idea of going, there's going to be like some sort of like headcanon Colonel Teopo in the Beastlands, that'd be quite fun.
Oh,
it's definitely a one-shot.
That's who you want slashfic of, not...
No.
Not Hunklock.
We've now got gay Minotaurs, I'm expecting slashfic. You heard it here first.
Get on it, audience.
But no, what I'm really excited about is a headcanon backstory of Colonel Teopo. Yeah.
I reckon
the trail of the snail.
It's going to be something to do with Colonel Teopo and John's character in
Professor Mollusk.
Mollusk. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Well, Mollusk.
I mean, they're the only two snails.
Wait, are you now asking for slash fic of those two characters?
Yes.
Snail slash fic?
With the
Snail
dance.
sex is weird. I wouldn't recommend that as good slash
Nobody
fic.
tell Ed.
Not because Ed likes snails, just to be clear on the internet here. It's because Ed really doesn't like tentacles.
We can't end on this. Yeah.
So, on the note of sexy snails, thank you very much for joining us.
I had a mouthful of water. I know I made the joke, but it went really badly for me. Sorry, Ed.
We're not sorry, Ed.
Hot snail on snail action right there for Ed.
So, if you've enjoyed this, we stream games Mondays and Tuesdays, 6 p.m. BST. Monday is Chris's campaign, which
The wreckage of Mithranor.
And Tuesday, I believe, we'll be into some new content.
Yeah, it's one-shots.
One-shots. Yeah, exciting.
It's new DMs. DM and one-shots.
New DMs.
I know.
David, are you involved?
No one's slid into my DMs.
He's too busy having a lovely hot tub experience. just drinking like a margarita.
Yeah, Rotigan's already paid for this hot tub. I can't ask for the penthouse as well.
It's fine. We'll get a new sponsor just to pay for your penthouse.
Well, I think one of them is at this table.
What?
Mike is DMing with us. It is true. Mike, would you
gonna say,
tell people about your one-shot?
Yes,
I thought you were saying Mike was my rider. I was very confused.
Yes.
Mike is your rider. That's also true, Mike. I'm sorry.
If I could do one of those American 50s news teller accents, I would. But let's go on a journey in high class through the skies. Make sure you wear your suits and dresses and everything in between for this very high class in the skies little story.
Well, there you have it.
There you go.
Let's tempt with that, shall we?
This is good.
Consider yourself hooked.
Consider yourself
Hooked.
Well then.
We are all such theatre nerds.
Yeah, all our shows, they're streamed at twitch.tv/RollTogetherRPG. There's a YouTube link in the chat. Thank you, mods. You can also enjoy us as a podcast. Then it does mean you can't see our lovely faces making all the expressions.
See all the sweat dripping.
Oh,
I so
God.
hot.
40 degrees,
I'm
yo.
not that sweaty.
You're not
It's
wearing
sweat
anything.
Dripping deliberately because it's really hot.
Can't fault it.
I'd like to
The
say
reason
that
Em
I am
hasn't stood up.
sweating and yet not wearing a lot. And if anyone has an issue with that, take it up with Ofcom.
But David, you're in a hot tub.
Yeah.
You are
Ooh.
boiling.
Oh, hey. Let's
I was
get
going
some
on to
cocktails
38
later on.
degrees.
So, as
too
David
many
rubs his
coconuts.
sweaty chest, we'd like to thank our D20 club. Thanks for the wiki. Thanks for the Discord. I bet you've got some comments about this. And
I'm going to get on this yacht.
I got bingo, David Sweaty Chest.
I beg you, with everything in my heart, beg you, please, stay classy at the table.
Oh.
I quit!